That's where my dreams keep me up at night. Cardi's on my vision, can't lie. As a man, I turn my ghost to ice. FM attitude, now they advice.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Ashley's. No, I keep doing that. Guys, welcome to my channel, Ashley Joyce. Today I'm going to be doing a faith talk video. I was putting these up, consistently, and then I kind of stopped for a while. Not on purpose, just to be honest with you, I don't know, I was being lazy and I just didn't do anymore. But a lot of people tend to like them, or seem to like them. So I want to do a video today talking about faith and how to trust God. First thing I want to say is don't forget to subscribe to my channel and comment below if this is helpful to you, and if you have any tips, comment below so that we can help each other and help motivate one another when someone else may need your words of encouragement. You never know what someone else is going through and how your testimony may help someone else. So anyway, let's get into this video because this intro is already 2 minutes long.
Stand up and take it as I go. Stronger than ever. Faded, there's not a shade of mine. All in all, I'm doing fine.
Okay, so how do you trust God? Okay, this is a hard question or a hard thing to answer. I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of times I feel like it's hard to trust God when you can't see what he's doing, and that's the reality. But I feel like I'm learning that trust is more of a choice. It's me understanding and me saying to myself, it doesn't matter what I cannot see. It doesn't matter what I feel may or may not happen. I'm gonna trust with my heart that if I'm doing the things that God told me to do, if I'm being the person he told me to be, that everything is gonna work itself out. And that's hard. I'm not gonna lie and say it's the easiest thing in the world. It's so hard, especially when you can barely trust people that's in your life or your family, and then someone is telling you to trust something you cannot see, someone you cannot see. I mean, I can feel God's love and all this stuff, but the reality is a lot of people have a hard time with trusting God, and I used to be one of those people. I still struggle with that sometimes when I'm going through things and I'm like, Lord, I'm praying to you and I need this, and I'm trying to, do this, or I'm trying to alleviate this situation from my life. And it's like, for me with anxiety, I'm like, Lord, like, where are you? Like, I need help. And it's hard sometimes to trust when you don't see the results right away. So what I had to do was I had to learn from the past. Sometimes you have to look at the past to understand your present and your future. So I had to think to myself, and this is kind of going to go into number 2. It's think about the things God already did for you. And I'm going to give you guys a couple examples. Number 1, I'm going to give you a recent and an old. I remember, since being in Arizona, when me and my family decided to get an apartment together, the apartment we stay in now, we were not supposed to be approved for. But I remember when I was applying, I felt moved to apply for this place, 1. And 2, when we got denied, they said that there was no way for us to get approved because of our credit score. It was too low. And I remember prior to applying for this place, God was telling me to work on my credit for like a year. And I kept feeling this. I kept seeing commercials about it. People kept, like, every time I would be around somebody, they were talking about it. Family members, one of my family members, we were having a long conversation and she brought up my credit. And I'm like, God, okay, I hear you. So I started to work on my credit. So when we applied and we got denied, the person who was helping us with the application, she said she was going to put a word in for us. Now, I didn't think we were going to get approved, to be honest with you, because I've never heard of someone getting denied for a place that they were not supposed to be approved for whatsoever. We weren't even close to getting approved. That's how bad my credit was. And within the first day of me working on my credit went up 50 points within the first week, And then that still wasn't even enough. So I'm like, man. So we didn't get approved. So I called the lady and I spoke to her, And it's funny because somehow we talked about faith when we were talking. We was talking about a lot of things. And she said, I'm going to try to see what I can do. But there's no guarantees. So I said, okay. And I remember that night I was praying. I'm like, Lord, like, where are my family and I going to live if we can't even get approved for this place? Like, I don't know what we're going to do. They already had their flights out. And I was freaking out. I was not trusting God in these moments. I was really scared. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know. I have to start looking for other places. I have to start looking. So I'm looking for other places. I'm calling other places. Denial, denial, denial. They're like, no. Every place is like, no. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? What are we going to do? So I had to trust God up until the day before they moved out here, y'all. And I was stressed out trying to figure out where else we was going to live. It came to a point where God told me, stop. He's like, stop. I felt it in my spirit to be still and to be patient. I did everything that I can do. So I had to say to myself, you know what, God, you told me to apply for this place. You told me to work on my credit. I did everything you told me to do. So you do it. You get us in here. You help us get approved. Because I can't do it. And I surrendered. I literally surrendered. Y'all don't, I mean, anybody who's around me at that time in my life know how stressful it was for me. And the day that I surrendered, everybody can tell. Because I said, you know, they were like, did y'all get approved? I'm like, no, but God's going to fix it. He's going to figure it out. I didn't do nothing else. I didn't call nobody else. I didn't look up nothing else. I didn't even apply for no other apartments. Stop looking at other apartments. I just said, Lord, if this is what you told me to do, and I did what I was supposed to do, I'm going to surrender and put my trust in you and just know that you're going to make a way. Sure enough, the day before my family was supposed to fly out here, the day before, they called me and said, well, she called me and said, you guys can move in tomorrow. You're approved, the keys. I'd never seen this happen before. Nobody's ever gotten into this place with a credit score that low. And I was just like, wow, because that was God. She's been working for 20 years. I surrendered what I thought and how I felt to God, and he opened up the door that he said he was going to open. So that reminded me of all of the other things that he has done for me in my life. I mean, it was times where I had $0 to my name. I prayed for a certain amount. He gave me more than that. And I just followed the things he told me to do, like when it comes to what I'm doing with my life as far as career-wise. And people didn't understand it at first. And they were like, how are you going to survive? How are you going to survive? How are you going to pay for rent? How are you going to do this? And I said, if God is telling me to do this, he's going to pay for all of that. I'm just trying to do what he told me to do. And when I did those things, everything was paid for. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times where I may have had a time in my life where I may have struggled. But God still opened up doors. He made ways. He had people in my life to help. Like whatever way, God helping you isn't just this big old flashing green light. Like, here, I'm right here. This is what I'm doing for you. Sometimes it's people. It's situations. It's, you know, a word. Just it's different ways of him using different things around to help you. So that faith for me was strong. And I just believed. So all that to say, you have to believe. Even if you don't see, can't understand why, don't know how it's going to end, you just have to have that faith and say to yourself, and I tell God, when I don't trust him, I tell him, Lord, I don't trust you right now, and I want to, so can you help me? And he'll make things happen, and little things in my life, and I'll be, oh yeah, okay. And sometimes some people just need that, and it's okay. It is okay. If you, God, I treat my relationship with God like, you know, like it's my best friend. I talk to him. If I don't trust my best friend in real life, I'm going to tell him, like, you know, I don't really trust you about this or that, or I don't really feel, I tell God the same thing, like, look, I don't trust you on this, but I want to. How do I trust you with this? You know, sometimes you have to say that, and he will help you. He will make things happen. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, yes. So just keep that in mind. Number 3, delay is not denial. Sometimes we don't get things when we want it, how we thought it was going to come about. But if God told you he was going to provide you with something or give you something in your life, and you feel in your spirit that that's a purpose, a calling for you, it's not about sometimes the timing of what we think it's supposed to be is not. Sometimes he want to build us up more for what we're praying for, what he know we deserve and what we supposed to get, but we're not quite ready for it. Because if we had it, we would destroy it. You wouldn't give a 2-year-old a butcher knife, would you? I mean, let's say this 2-year-old love cooking. They want to be a chef. They say, Mommy, I want to cook. And you're like, okay. As a parent, would you give them a butcher knife, or would you wait till they're mature and able to handle it? Because you give this child a butcher knife, they may destroy or hurt themselves. Some kids are ready at 7 to handle that butcher knife. Some kids, some have to wait till they're 13. But at 2, it's just not time. So just because the parent didn't give you the butcher knife at 2 doesn't mean that they're not going to allow you to cut meat at 14, at 18. And, you know, so that's just kind of how I look at the things that I don't get right away that I know God's going to give to me. Now it's time for me to mature. It's time for me to grow, learn in this season I'm in my life so that I can be prepared for the blessings that I'm praying for. So once again, delay is not denial. And even if it was God saying no, I think, in my opinion, he knows what's best for me. So if it's a no, then I know he has something bigger and better. So you just have to keep your faith in a way of just like the relationship you have with God should be yours. That's why I like the church that I listen to. If you're interested, I'll leave the link below because it's online. It's in person too, but I listen to the media online since I'm not in Atlanta. But he always said the relationship you have with God is yours. However you talk, treat, like, it's all on you. People can only guide you and give you advice. But at the end of the day, it's your relationship with God. And that's how I treat, like, my relationship with God. That's like my best friend. That's like my homie. I talk to him like I talk to my girlfriends. You know, I don't change my lingo. Like, oh, Lord Jesus, please. I don't do all of that. I talk to God just how I would if I was talking to my friend, because he already know me. He already know everything about me, everything I did, gonna do, everything. So I'm not going to deny myself. And I think that taught me to be myself around other people, because the only person I really truly want to impress in this world is God. Now, everyone else I love and I want to, you know, genuinely show my love to them in ways that they can understand. But ultimately, who I want to get that, yes, you can come into heaven, my daughter, my is God. So if he doesn't judge me the way the world does, as long as I'm doing the things that he asked of me, you're going to have a better relationship with your friends as well, in my opinion, because you start to be yourself. So that all goes back to delay, denial. If you're who he wants you to be and you're doing what you're supposed to do, just trust that his timing is the best timing, and delay is not denial. Some of this I'm going to chop up a little bit because I'm kind of going in a little bit on these because it's easier to cut out than to add. So yeah. Last but not least, it's really a thing of learning through your journey and understanding that God, for me, has been a huge part of my entire life. Since I was a little kid, there was things that happened in my life that I know he was there through. And I found my faith kind of on my own. And that's the thing that I think why my faith is so strong. I didn't have, as a child, someone shoving religion or faith down my throat at all. When I was a kid, I always wanted to go to church. I didn't have family like in my household who went to church like that. That's not something that we grew up doing. I went by myself. I would go to church. I would walk around the corner with my friends or by myself, literally at 7, 8 years old. It had nothing to do with anybody else forcing me. And so that's why I think my faith is so strong. And as an adult, you can do it now. You can gain your faith and find your faith, your relationship with God, and make it yours. Don't let other people tell you how to have a relationship with God, because that's the first way of being discouraged. Because if someone tells you how to have that relationship, you're going to always look at other people's opinions and look for other people's approval on what God is saying for you or how it should be. So just be very mindful of that. But that faith is going to start with you taking a leap of faith and sitting down and believing the things that God wants for you in your life, that you know he wants for you to do and to have. It's to believe. No matter what you feel, feelings come and go. But it's having that belief no matter what is happening, no matter what you're feeling. I'm going to believe because I know God has done this, this, and this for me in the past. Why would he not do it for me now or in the future? Because he loves me. And so you take that faith and you spread it around to other people around you by showing people that God can do the same thing for them, and just walk in love. All that ties into the faith with God for me, because I think it's everything that I said. It's your relationship with him. It's believing no matter what you see. It's believing in his timing. It's walking in purpose and following the things he has for you. Having a relationship with him, your relationship, and having guidance along the way. And everything's going to be okay. So that's all I want to say. Ooh, all that rhymes. Let me stop. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of all over the place, but hopefully help somebody out there. And if you have any questions, or if you just want to talk about your faith story or your testimony, comment below. I love reading comments. I love reading you guys' journeys and stories as well, because we are all important. Everybody's story is important. So subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video. And happy Earth Day. So I have on my green, well, stole Johnny's jacket, but whatever. But I love y'all and bye.